It's a good problem to have, don't get me wrong, but it's a terrible feeling because you're making money and you're frozen in confusion, panic, and bewilderment. Like you don't know what to do. How unfortunate. How unfortunate for an individual to end up in that condition. And yet it happens many times. And those are the same instances that you've done that with your demo account. And you think that that is the invitation for you to start trading with real money. Man, it could happen like that with my funded account. If I can just get lucky to pass my combine, then I can do these trades and might get lucky. And I'll just withdraw my first $5,000. If I could just get $5,000, man, that's all I'm looking for. Who cares? It's worth it if I blow the account after that. I mean, $5,000. There's so many of you that think like that. Be honest. You probably felt like that before. Maybe you don't think that way now. And if you're really honest, brutally honest with yourself and me and the community, you would say so on Twitter right now. Like, yeah, that's exactly what I've contemplated many times. It's worth it for me. It's a couple $100 to get in there. If I blow it, who cares? I can just do a $100 reset. I don't know if that's true, how that works, but I know it's not a full amount of money to pay for it. And you're thinking, oh, well, it's just like the lottery ticket. Whatever the payout is, it's worth it. If it's a couple $1,000s, it's more money than I paid to do the challenge in the combine. And if that's how you're thinking, you're really selling yourself short. Like, why waste your time with that when you can do it the right way? Make 6% on that account. Build it up over months. And make 50% in 6 months of whatever that equity base is. If you're doing 100,000 in 6 months, build it up to 50,000. Do your profit split. Boom, there it is. You're done. You're in business now. You have enough money to do your own and still do that funded account. And you're just talking about one account, not like the savages I'm creating, where they're managing 1.2, 1.4, all these crazy ass, funded account thresholds they're operating in. They know what they're doing. They know what they're trying to accomplish. They didn't think that way and know what they were doing when they first started. You're learning. You're learning a lot about yourself. You're learning that there is no randomness to these markets. And the truth is, you're probably intimidated by how much you have learned in such a short period of time. It might be creating a scatterbrain feeling where it's information overload. And that's normal. It's absolutely normal. And that's exactly what happened with my paid students. Like, I gave them more content than they can technically digest. Even though it was over the course of an entire year, they were getting every day new content, live streams, and 8 lessons that you see in that core content. Think about that. And I was posting charts, static charts, for a while in the forum. I don't do that anymore. So it was too much. But I told them that's what it's going to be like. And not to try to, to cram everything in 1 year, to just relax and let it happen. And every one of my students that are making big money, none of them are coming forward and saying, yep, I figured it out in 9 months, 12 months, a year. It took them time, years, plural. And I'm honest, I've been telling you all that from the beginning. Anybody that's made big money as a trader worth listening to. I'm not talking about people on Twitter. Real big fund manager type level traders. If you had an opportunity to talk to them, they're all going to tell you it's going to take you years to really know how to trade. Can you be profitable less time than that? Yeah. But you're not going to know yourself. You're not going to know your model like the back of your hand. You're not going to know what it is that you're doing. You're not going to be me. I know I can walk into any market environment and I will find a pound of flesh. You don't need to be able to do that. All you need to be able to do is know when your model is going to materialize in price and be there on time when it's supposed to be there. When it's done, close your charts and go about your business. Not, I made money, let me do it again real quick because it feels good. That's like a drug addict getting its first hit. Heroin or cocaine or whatever the first high is. They say that you always try to chase that high and you can never get it. That's what it feels like when you start trading with your model. You know what you're looking for, and when it happens and it's like, bang, there it is. That power, that sense of accomplishment, the feeling of dialed in, you feel like your fucking net worth is $200 million all of a sudden. You just feel like you're minted. You're arrived, like you know exactly this is exactly what you were meant to feel like. Your whole life was for this moment. And it feels so good, it's intoxicating. And as soon as you feel it wearing off, which will be minutes, your natural impulses is I want to go back and do that again. The move's already happened. So you have to put the gambler in the back seat and say, you don't get to drive. Take the keys away and keep the gambler from doing anything. You're not conversating with them. You're not having any discussions about anything emotional. You did what you did. You felt good about it. Now close your charts. Exercise discipline. Forge responsibility. That's hard. That is so hard. And I can't write chapters, not just chapter. I can't write a book entirely about that and still scratch the surface because it has to be experienced. You have to feel what that's like. Just like it feels different when you move into live fund trading, even if it's a small, minute, little bit amount of money. Your expectations on yourself and the elevated hopes for you surviving the live trade, let alone making money. Because when you first think you're going to get in there, it's like, okay, I'm going to push this trade. It might work. But in your mind, you're thinking, oh shit, this is probably going to fail. This is going to fail, man. I got to do it though. I got to get it out of the way. Let me just get in here and do it. You put the trade on, and as soon as you push the button, the weight of the world is on your neck. Now, mind you, you're trading very, very small leverage, probably the smallest. But it feels like your heart's going to stop. It feels like you can't breathe, like someone's holding you in a bear hug. Palm starts sweating. Feel a little bit faint. And now you just want to close the trade, but you don't want to close the trade. But you do, but really you don't. And you're wrestling with that. And you just want to get out of it. You're up 1 tick, 3 ticks down below the dealing spread, up 2 ticks, 3 ticks, and you can't stand it anymore. Please, let me just get out of this trade. I just got to recuperate and just gather my thoughts. That's what it feels like when you put your first live trade on with real money. That's what it feels like. And some of you are going to be shocked when you feel that. And that's why you have to do it with very, very little money. And you have to talk to yourself and remind yourself, how did I do in the demo? What was I doing? What was I focusing on? And take your money out of the equation. Focus on price. That's the truth. That's the thing that you're supposed to do. But it won't feel like that's what you're supposed to do. You're going to be worrying about the money. You're going to be counting the ticks up and down. And the worst thing you can do is have that money tab showing you the profit and loss in your trade. That shouldn't even be on your chart. Put your trade on, put your limit and all that business on it, and then toggle that off. Then go back to watching price. The orders will be there. They're there to do their job. That's it. Let it go. You don't have any control. You can't steer price. You can't make it go there faster. You have to submit to that. And it's like a lifetime. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, feels like a lifetime. It feels like you gave up 5 of your life years in that trade. And as you do more of it and you trust your model, it feels like nothing. Like the live stream today that I did with you, it literally felt like 15 minutes to me. It doesn't feel like a long time. Not that an hour or so was a long time. It's not, but it didn't feel like an hour to me. For some of you, probably was like, you could have made this shorter. But I wouldn't have been able to teach you everything I taught you in that live stream now, could I? So there's a lot of things that you're going to discover that are true about yourself and true about the markets and true about what it is that I'm teaching you. And those experiences are going to be uniquely personal to you. And how you deal with them, how you wrestle with them is all going to be an individual experience. Some of it's going to be positive, some of it's going to be negative, and you're going to learn from those things. And I can't write a book, no one else can write a book, how to prepare for it, because everyone's going to deal with it differently. And you need to expect that adversity, excitement, that new level. But with a new level means there's a new boss to fight. There's a new devil to wrestle. New levels, new devils. And that's what it's like in this industry. Until you get to the point where you know yourself, you know your model, you know the market and the conditions that you like to operate in. And when those things are not in alignment, that's not an invitation for you to, simply because you have time, to turn the charts on and see what happens when you press the button. You don't need to know after you push the button what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. As soon as you push the button in those conditions where you know it's not likely for you to be trading that, it's not high probability, but you're bored. Somebody made you mad at work. You just got to have some kind of distraction. And if you win, even if it's $50, that's $50 you didn't have. And guess what? It feels good to be able to do that because I took something from somebody else. Because right now I'm pissed off. Right now I'm having a hard time. I'm stressing about something. And I just need to be able to feel good about myself. I have an accomplishment. Let me get out there and live stream. I'm going to show the world I'm an awesome trader. And you got there and you push the button and you wreck your ass. And you just compounded all that grief. And you just brought witnesses into it. Well done. You played yourself. You know, once you know what you're doing, you know that that outcome is going to be unfavorable. So you don't do it. You don't trade to see what's going to happen. You don't push the button to find out what's going to happen. You don't trade and push a button just to see if you can feel better about yourself. Your trades are not to make yourself better. Your trades are there to make fucking money. That's it. That's the only reason why you're doing this. It's not to impress Carl. It's not to impress your spouse. It's not to impress your friends. It's not to make yourself feel like you're accomplished. It's a derivative. You're doing this to make money. If any time you feel the impulse to push the button because you need to feel better about yourself, you want to push the button to distract yourself from something someone said about you on social media, you feel bored, nothing else to do, let me just get in here and trade Asia. You don't ever trade Asia. Never even came up in your model. You know what? It might, if I get 3 handles, it's $150 per contract, and my funded account says I can trade this many contracts. So let me just do 1/4 of that and just see, how I feel after I win. Well, you're inviting the very thing that you shouldn't be doing. Who's going to be there to stop you? I'm not going to be there. Your broker's not going to say, hey, you better not do that. You better not do that right now. Who's going to do it? Who's going to be the person that stands in the way and talks to you and reminds you that what you're doing is outside your model? It's just you. And you don't want to learn from bad experiences doing impulsive things that you're reckless. You don't want to discover that you're reckless by doing those things. You want to prevent the opportunity of discovering that you're reckless in those instances. Talking to yourself through your journal, referring to your journal, writing down what you intend to do that trading day. What? What did you just say, Michael? Write down what I plan on doing today? I thought I was just going to look for fair value gaps. Yeah, it's part of the anticipatory price skills that you're learning. Yeah, but it makes you much more accountable when you write down what you intend to do. I want to take a trade, like on Tuesday. I want to sell short a fair value gap after there's displacement lower, and I want to take profit at this level because there's sell side there. Write it out. You should have a notepad where you are trading. If you're walking around at work, at lunch, smoke breaks, or whatever, and you're doing everything from your phone, you're gambling. You need to have it written out. What's your plan of attack? Just like war. Just like football. They have their playbook. Everything they're doing is a strategy that every player on that team understands what that play is. I sound like a football man, don't I? I don't know shit about that game. But I know this, they have a playbook, and the coaches say, play this. Quarterback tells the players, we're playing this. The stinky leg, run around so-and-so play. whatever the hell it is. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The flea flicker. I think that's something that's real. If it ain't, fuck it. But game plan is you write it out. If you write it out, chances are you're going to probably submit to it better than you just staring at the chart, impulsively reacting like retail. And if you write it out, you're more inclined to wait for the setup to form. But ICT, what happens if I'm watching? What did it say? You write it out. Then you wait for it. But ICT, what if I'm looking? You write it out and you wait for it. Simple. Next to impossible for someone that's new, but it's simple. That's how you forge discipline. That's how you forge responsibility. That's how you plan your trade and trade your plan. In the beginning, you need to be diligent about it. But in the beginning, that's where everybody's reckless. It's like spring break. And everybody brought kegs. Oh, it's time to get drunk. You can't operate like that. Not here. Not here. Not in this industry. You can't do that. It's unforgiving. Some of you are going through combines, trying to get these funded account challenges passed. I placed a lot of emphasis on my son with this one. Like, he didn't do any trades today. And I told him, I said, you can't do anything today. And I let him dabble with the demo. And I told him, I said, tell me what you think you're trying to do, and then you execute. He got all chopped up today. Okay. And that's fine. I mean, you have to see that. But he wanted to have a win in that combine. We had one day off this week, and I told him, I said, we're going to take another off today. Don't be trying to get that $9,000 right away. You don't need to do it. Just because it says you have to trade 5 days doesn't mean do it in 5 days or less. That's unrealistic. It's unrealistic for him. So to curb his impulsive desires, like I teach you, I said, here, let me reset the paper account. You try to do what you think you would do in that combine right now today. 8 trades, every single one of them dusted. Now, it's not because he should be profitable, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And truth be told, he's pushing the button, but daddy's telling him, do this, do that. I'm teaching him that very short time frame scalping model, but he's the one clicking the button. He discovered today what it felt like if he would have done it with that combine. At that combine, he would have lost his perfect no losing day, no losing trade. That's what I placed on him. I said, listen, you don't need to make a lot. It's real easy to make that $9,000, but you got to give yourself time. What happens if it takes you 2 weeks? Does it mean anything that, it took you 2 weeks versus what you thought 5 days meant? Like he thought 5 days, you got to do it in 5 days because it says you have to trade at least 5 days. So I told him, I said, don't do that. Don't worry about that. Think about what it's like where you work, because he works at a coffee shop. And if you don't know anything about me, I make my children work. It's work hardening. I could give them cash, but they're not learning. I did that with my oldest son, and he didn't appreciate it. He just wants more money. He wastes it on dumb shit and then says, Dad, I need help with something else, like my daughter. So I messed up with the 2 older ones. But the other ones, I'm making them work. And yeah, they work jobs that wouldn't be flashy. They're not college degree type white collar jobs. It's you're grunt working. You're working in a warehouse, Caleb. You're doing coffee shit and dealing with people cussing you out in the drive-through window, Cameron. And I want them to feel that. And I want them to feel like I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing this dumb shit. Not to hate other people and think that they're elite, but I want them to feel like I don't want to do this. And it's funny, my youngest son, he's in a hurry to work at a fucking Rita's Italian Ice. My youngest is very, very immature. Way, way, way more immature than his age is. So his whole outlook on working is, childlike. But Cameron and Caleb, when they see their trades in the demo, like when I'm telling them, look, this is not when you want to trade. And I tell them, go into your demo and paper trade and show me what you would have done. And you could just read it on their face. It's like, man, I'm glad it didn't happen, but you were right, Dad. And they don't like that. Like, they don't like when dads write about it like that, because what they wanted was what? To go in there impulsively and do it and then look at me and say, see, you didn't want me to do it, but I did it. And that's what I'm wrestling with them. So he's a bit of a hurry to get out here and start smacking assholes around on social media. So he's going to be a menace once I make him formidable. So he's going to be the one that runs around and gets in everybody's ass and stuff and show everybody what he's doing. He's in a hurry to do that. And I'm trying to wrestle that and wrangle that in him because it'll undo him. He's too motivated for all the wrong reasons. So today was a very sobering experiment for him. I said, I know what you want to do, and I understand why you're trying to do it. And I also understand that the young man in you, because you're all hopped up on testosterone and you're in your peak of rebellion, and you want to show Dad that you can whip Dad's ass, and what I believe you're going to do and what you think you're going to do with this today. I'm telling you, just trust this. Do whatever you would do in that paper trading account, and we'll watch and see what happens. And it was very, very humbling for him today. And it was almost like, I wouldn't say his spirit was broken, but I would say that it was near heartbreaking for me as his dad, because it was like he wanted so badly to be able to say, I was able to do it even though you thought I couldn't, Dad. And I had to reserve a lot of the things that would otherwise be coaching. I wanted him to just experience that, because I need him to feel the weight of that. Because unless you feel that, you won't be denying yourself that when you trade with your account. Because that feeling of, I want to prove something. Okay. Prove you have self-control and don't fucking gamble. How about that? Let's start there. But unfortunately, nobody thinks that way. I didn't think that way when I was 20 years old. I thought, I got to prove myself to everybody. I got to prove it. I got to constantly prove. And unfortunately, everybody that ever does that always does themselves in. It never works out like that. It's odd. It's just like, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that you want to do something to elevate your perspective that other people have towards you. The outward appearance that you have it all put together and you're it. Kid ego. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to be successful in wrangling this boy's. He's wild. Like, he wants to literally come out here. He goes, Dad, I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay, I understand, but give me a chance to get you there. I want to watch you do it. Trust me. I want to see all that shit, but let me turn you into that first. And you just literally just started. Like, it doesn't happen that quick. And today he had a real taste of humble pie today. And it was a good thing, but I hope he doesn't beat himself up too badly about it. Cause you know how it is when a young man, like, think about it. You're 18 years old, you think you know everything when you don't know shit. And he has an ego. Like, he's really good at everything he does, whether it be, the sports that he plays or, the video games he's really good at. Like, he tries to be the best, which is great. I love that. But Dad's dad. And I told him, I said, today is a day you don't touch the combine. You don't do any of that. You don't do nothing. You don't do anything outside of a paper trading account. But nothing. This is what you do. Show me what you would do. In the first trade, he's sitting there. He's like, all right, this is what you said it should do here. I said, I didn't say that today. I'm silent right now. You tell me what you would do, because you said you wanted to trade it. You tell me what you were going to do today. You're driving right now. You know the rules I've told you. What do you see? I'm not going to talk today. You're going to show me, because you said that you figured it out. You know what you're going to do today. You feel confident. Show me. Show me what that equates to when you push the button. Lose. And then I watch, he's like rolling his shoulders, he's pumping his shoulders, and he's like he's thinking, I'm gonna turn this around and I'm gonna be able to shove this in Dad's face and say, now, I could just see it on his face. He wanted to do that. And I'm sitting back here trying not to show any kind of emotion. I don't want to, spur that type of shit on. And I also don't want to break his spirit. So I'm just letting him do it. And finally, the last one, he's like, all right, I can't do it today, Dad. He didn't say I was right, but he wouldn't make eye contact with me. And I told him, I said, son, listen, this is going to happen to you when you're trading with real money. And you have to know when not to do this. Everything you showed this morning was outward reasons to want to trade instead of taking the model. None of the times that you pushed the button was the model at all. You were manifesting your desire to prove to Dad that you could do it when I was saying don't. You were arm wrestling me. You have to refrain from that. I have students that did that in mentorship and then argue with me. It doesn't work when they were fading everything I said in commentary. Look what I'm doing in live streams. Fade that. Would you do well? Fuck no. And I had students in the 2016, 2017, and 2018 groups that consistently, contrarianly faded everything I said in Euro and cable. And then had the audacity to send me emails saying the shit doesn't work. I guess it doesn't work. I guess you aren't going to be successful when you're holding the chart upside down. And some of them, I have never been successful in making them understand what they're doing. I mean, how do you tell them? I think about that. Say you're the mentor. Like, how do you tell them in a way that is not derogatory. Because there was a few times I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, do you not understand what you're doing is ass backwards? Like, I'm telling you, go north, you're running south. Twice the speed I told you to go north, you're running south. And then saying, I'm not getting where I'm supposed to go. Like, I'm never arriving where you said I should be. Where the hell are you going? You're going the wrong direction. You're doing that. Well, Cameron had that experience this morning. And it sucks because you have to wrestle with that. He's walking around here today. It's like a chip on his shoulder. It's his youth. It's his male ball and chain. Pride. Pride. You want to show me. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that want to show ICT, and they wreck their ass on live streams. They wreck their ass in their results. And I didn't even mess with them. They brought it on themselves. And my own son tried it today. And all I'm trying to do is make him prepared. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to prepare him. But he was adamant. I'm going to do it, Dad. I know I can do it. Son, today's not a day. In the morning session, this is what I'm trying to explain to you. The rules I teach you. He wasn't trying to hear it. He's like, no, Dad, I think I'm good. Okay. But you're not allowed to do that there. You're going to do it with this. Reset the paper trading account. I put one trade on so that way when I walk away, my trade's in there. He didn't reset it because he did that one time already on me. I said, let me see the history. All right, wait a minute, 1 second. 1 second. Let me see the history. You're not in a trade. And he had something that was not what I started the account with. I said, did you do something wrong? Yeah, I did some stupid shit. I said, well, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. The whole point is you got to show me what you're doing. I can't help you if you don't show me what you did wrong, because I want to ask you what you saw there. What did you do wrong? Hiding the losing trades or the examples that you're trying to push the button on, hiding that from me is making it impossible for me to help you. Like, I got to take you into that trade and say, what did you do? What did you see? And then I can show you where you did it wrong. But you're trying to put a blinder up. No, I don't want to look at that, and I don't want to show Dad that. That's the whole reason why I reset the account. I do one trade. That means that trade better fucking be there when I ask you to show me what you've done. And he tried it one time. It's shame. That's all it was. I mean, he's not trying to be sneaky about it. He just got reckless. Okay. It's good that you're doing it in a paper trading account like that. But don't hide it. And that's a lesson for all of you. Like, don't hide from those mistakes. Don't beat yourself up about them, which is what he was trying to do. He was trying to teach himself subconsciously to hide it, sweep it under the rug. And you have to learn from them. Don't hide from them. Embrace them. That's when you want to see yourself fail. In the beginning, when it's safe, where there's no money to lose, no mental baggage accumulated because of it. But when you start doing stuff like that, think about it, a paper trading account, and he's hiding it. You know that it's just stupid shit you used to do. Everybody's done it. Oh, well, you know, my next time I won't make these dumb decisions. Let me just reset the paper trading account, the demo account, and, you know, we'll focus on the wins. It's just much like what happens when people get these stupid trade ideas where they do 50 lots of gold when they're not really able to trade 50 lots. They wouldn't have the leverage to do it anyway. And they're doing 50 lots entry. 2 seconds later, they're buying it again, 50 lots. And they're doing again 50 lots. And they have a series of 12 to 15 50 lot entries where they're all off by 1 or 2 pips. And they show that on social media. They're all $90,000 plus wins, open profit on a demo account. And then they think that's going to be something for people to say, whoa, look at that. Wow. To me, when I see stuff like that, like, what are you trying to communicate there? Like, what made you feel that was a good thing to put on the social media? Because that looks like you have no idea what the hell you're doing. And that number, while it might be large, means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. It's not like you took an account and you parlayed 20, 30 trades up, and you got that result after many different trades, you're just over leveraging something that you never would do with real money.